Hello, I'm Jeffrey Smith, Superintendent of Hampton City Schools. I'd like to take this opportunity to offer congratulations to our 2016 valedictorians and salutatorians for their outstanding achievements during their high school careers. What a pleasure it is to see these students excel not only in the classroom, but in their many other interests and extracurricular activities. Let's meet some of Hampton City Schools' finest students.
Hi, I'm Matteo Bert, Phoebus High valedictorian, class of 2016. I've been a part of my church for a long time. We've been there for a while, my entire family. But in our church, there's a student ministry that consists of 200 to 300 kids. And on Wednesday nights, they have something called LSMPM, which is basically the student ministry for high schoolers and middle schoolers most of the time. And actually in 7th grade, the worship band that plays every Wednesday night, they had a senior that was graduating that year, and he played the drums. And so when he left, there was nobody else to play drums, and so they had auditions for the bands and everything. I tried out just to try out because I did play percussion a little bit, and I really looked up to like all my band members and everything. They were just really great people. It felt like a family, really. And from that point on, I've been in the band since then, and now I'm a senior and I'm about to graduate, and there are other people coming up beneath me that are underclassmen and everything that are playing the drums now too. But mostly I'm just in the band now, and every Wednesday nights we play worship sets for the student ministry in general. I just think it's really cool that I'm able to go through the process and then teach someone that's coming up to go through the process as well. Yeah, I had known for a while that I was #1 since freshman year, but when it was finally like in there and it stuck and I knew that I was going to be valedictorian, I was really excited, but kind of like shocked too because it didn't seem real, because I had wanted to do something like that. I had aspired for that since elementary school, really, since one of my teachers had told me that she was looking forward to hearing my speech at graduation, and I was only in elementary school back then. But it was just really nice being able to see that all of the hard work that I had put into it after all 4 years in high school, and even leading up to it, up to high school and middle school, just trying to get the A's and everything, it all came to fruition. It was rewarding in the end. I've been accepted to Liberty University, University of Virginia, William & Mary, and University of Richmond. And you know, for the most part, when I was looking and just choosing schools and seeing where I wanted to go, my family and I actually toured a lot of the schools. And one thing that I really noticed that I really wanted in a college was like the small feel. It wasn't like a priority for me to have that. Like, it's not a deal breaker, but I just really like you know, suburban areas, and something that really feels like I could fit in there and belong and not just be like a number. I chose UVA because they offered me the chance to be a Rodman Scholar, which I thought would have a lot of good privileges that came with that distinction. I also had a chance to revisit the university campus and the grounds, and I realized that I just really enjoyed being there, and I could feel at home there, and that was a really good choice for me. Really, I only want a computer science degree right now because I'm really passionate about it. You know, in the robotics program, I was in the programming department, and now in Governor School, I'm in the computer science strand, and it's just something that I really enjoy doing, and I'm good at it, so I really like it. And then in the future, though, my main goal is to go into the ministry with my theology degree, maybe intern at a church right out of college, and then work my way up from there. A lot of my friends too, they were really intelligent, and even at that young age I could tell that. And even now, like, I'm not naive to the point where I would say I'm the smartest person in Phoebus High School. Like, I understand that to a point I have, you know, some intellect, and maybe more than others. But even in one of my application essays, I think it was for University of Virginia, they asked me to do just a personal essay, and I think it was one of my favorite ones that I've ever written. It was about how the most important thing between talent and hard work will never be your talent, because the person that's willing to put in the work, that has the work ethic and has more will to accomplish something that they've set out to do will always be there first, no matter where the other person is with regards to talent, if they're not willing to work for it as hard as that other person is. And so that's what I've seen, because just like I said, I'm not naive enough to think that nobody in FEMA is smarter than me, but I think that for sure I've definitely worked harder than most of them. So.
I'm Casey Cordner. I'm from Phoebus High School, and I'm the salutatorian of the class of 2016.
Bring it over, son, Casey.
Softball was something I knew I was going to do right off the bat because it was something I had done previously in middle school, and so and then later I joined sailing. So I got into swimming, which I didn't originally think I would get into swimming. I started out on the dive team, and dive team wasn't great. I fell off the 3-meter, and so I was like, yeah, maybe I should just stick with swimming instead. And then later I joined sailing. I was relieved because I know that the person in third place was catching up on me, so I was like, I gotta keep trying. I gotta make sure that I get this. There was some pressure on me to try and push for first. I was like, I'll be happy to settle for second because I know that he was already pretty far ahead of me. So I was like, if I at least get second, I'll be happy with myself. When I freshman year when I came here, I wasn't top 5, I was like 6th. And so I had to work my way up in order to be able to be where I am now. I was accepted to University of Virginia, Virginia Tech, and Old Dominion University. I applied to those schools because they're actually very different in style, but I wanted a wide choice of schools, so that way if like later in the year I felt like, well, maybe it'd be better to have like a school with a big school where I can meet a lot of new people, or a smaller school where I can be able to work in groups and be able to know everyone and just walk by and say hi and everyone will be nice. And so I chose ODU because it's where my family went, and so I decided to go there too. I'm looking into computer engineering. After I graduate, I want to be able to work in like a big company like NASA or Microsoft or something, because I want to be able to help people. That's the main goal, be able to build things and help others. The big thing is be able to have other things that'll let you calm down, be able to stay focused and take your mind off of all the stress.
I'm Rachel Dobbins, class of 2016, valedictorian at Bethel High School. You think right here and take this and put it
Put it with the second stanza.
yeah, that would make more sense. And then I was kind of confused, what chores are habit? Are they talking about like chores?
I started out submissions manager, but we didn't have an editor, so I became managing editor of the literary magazine last year. I was just a member my sophomore year, but creative writing is an amazing thing, and we have some really great work in there, and it was really an honor to be able to edit these people's work. I had some few things in there myself, and so that was fun, editing my own work. But it's just, and it's sort of nice to have the power, and it's a methodical process that I can always count on grammar rules. When I found out officially, I was at home, And my best friend texted me. She was like, hey, they're calling you down to the guidance office, so you should probably come here really quickly. So I came over to school and I went to the guidance office. I'm like, okay, what are they going to say? And I walked in, Mr. Saunders was there and Miss Williams. And they're like, hello, Rachel, we have something very serious to tell you. And so they told me, you're officially valedictorian. And they're like, call one of your parents. So my dad is in New York right now, so I called him, even though I was worried he wouldn't be awake yet because he works at night. But I called him and they talked to him and told him, you know, she's officially valedictorian now. And then he talked to me for a little bit. Somehow I managed to, I don't know, I try to do my schoolwork in the afternoon and the evening. The most difficult thing is finding like personal time so I can just like relax and think about my life for a little bit, think about where I'm going, and finding that time is the most important thing. My mom is probably the most influential person in my life. We're like pretty similar, so we share a lot of the same interests, and she's really passionate about science, and that's what got me passionate about science. And she's not judgmental, and she only expects me to be myself and the best that I can be. She doesn't expect me to be the best person in the world, just the best me I can be. I've only been accepted to 2 colleges so far, Spelman and William & Mary. But ultimately I chose to go to William & Mary this fall because it's more familiar to me, and I was afraid of going too far away from my family, even though they're moving. I wanted to have something familiar, and since I've always lived in Virginia, it's familiar to me. And I have some friends who are going to William & Mary as well, so it's a nice perk. The campus is right next to Colonial Williamsburg, and it's really neat. I like history, though it's not something I've always wanted to do. It's also really pretty. I definitely want to double major, and one of them will be neuroscience, but the other major might be biochemistry, or I really like microbiology. It's a recent love affair of mine. I would like to go to medical school and become a neurosurgeon as well, and do some sort of biological research, because there's so many opportunities in biological research, especially because there's so many new things coming up, new diseases and things that need to be cured. School isn't about being the best, it's about learning, and learning is a wonderful thing. And I feel like people need to focus on the learning and not so much the grades. Grades are important, but they're not everything in school. They just need to be the best they can be themselves and be happy with themselves, and then they're successful. Because you're not successful if you're not happy.
I was like,
too.
The word habit was sort of
I think
weird.
we're gonna have to ask her about the stanza.
Yeah.
Because the clubs was confusing, and so was the habit. So I think we should workshop with her next
Yeah, definitely.
class.
Hi, my name is Amaria Sledge, and I'm the Bethel High School salutatorian for the class of 2016. Well, I'm really passionate about band because I'm actually really good at it, surprisingly. And I just really love being able to spend that much time with some people that I really enjoy being around. I also think that it's really important because it allows me to decompress and just step away from the stress that school or trying to figure out college might be bringing me. So it's like a family away from family, so I really love them. It was a pleasant surprise. Honestly, I hadn't really been thinking about being salutatorian. I just knew that if I did my best, then everything would work out for the better, and it was a nice, pleasant afterthought. God has really been a big influence for me, helping me to kind of keep my sanity. He's been the perfect companion for those late nights when I have to finish a paper. And then aside from him, I would have to say my parents and my whole family actually. They're all very encouraging, and they always say, well as long as you did your best is your best, and we couldn't really ask for more. I would have to say I keep a very detailed schedule of all the things that I have to do, so that really helps. And then there are those moments where my mom says, it's okay, you don't have to do this schoolwork right now, just take a break, take a breather. And so I think taking time to have for myself also really helps, because I can decompress and be at peace. I've been accepted to Spelman, William & Mary, University of Richmond, and Salem College, which is in North Carolina. I chose William & Mary because I really like the campus. It's really pretty, and even though I want to be a biology major, I'm really into history, and I like that it's in such a historical and colonial area. They also have my major, and I really like the research opportunities that I'll be presented with throughout my 4 years at William & Mary. I want to major in biology and also major in psychology and take a pre-med track because eventually I'd like to pursue a career as a neurosurgeon, but also do research in the field of neuroscience. And I haven't really narrowed it down yet as to whether I want to do like pediatrics or gerontology, that aspect of neurosurgery and neuroscience research. And I'm leaning more towards like spinal neurosurgery. I just think the brain is and the nervous system itself is just so interesting, and it always provides a new opportunity for you to learn. So you're constantly learning, and I love learning. And you're also given a challenge like all the time, and I love a good challenge. I just can't turn it down. Honestly, it's just about doing your best and pursuing what it is that you want to pursue. If that's potentially a degree in art history, then by all means go for it. Connections are really important, and I think that part of the best support network that you could possibly have are the people that you surround yourself with. So surround yourself with good people and you'll be fine.
My name is Emily Rhodes, and I'm Kecoughtan High School's 2016 valedictorian. These things get bigger every time. Like, it started out the words were so small.
It doesn't say finish the fight, so that's why there's like it's so much. It's only on hero.
I've been in Kietz for 4 years, and it's just a really great group of people. It's an all-girls club, and we do community service together, and it's been really awesome to go out in the community and help out and reach out. And I feel like I've grown a lot because of that club, and I've been able to see things in my community that I wouldn't have before. Relay for Life, we raise money for that, and we walk at Darling Stadium every year in May, and that's just a really fun event. It's really cool to see everyone out there either fighting cancer or supporting people with cancer. I've just been really focused. I think it was definitely having my parents as teachers when I was younger. My dad taught at my elementary school, and he was my 3rd grade science teacher, and so I never wanted to disappoint him. And I always worked really hard just to do my best, and that just carried on throughout elementary school, middle school, high school, and I've always put school first. At Kecoughtan, we have awesome teachers, so they've definitely helped out a lot. And both of my parents are teachers, so that helps too. My older sister graduated from here 2 years ago, and she was a big influence on me, always pushing me to do my best. And I've just got a great support system with my family, including my cousins and my grandparents. And both of my parents are graduates of Kecoughtan High School, so yeah, it's just a long line. But yeah, my family mostly has definitely helped out a lot. I was accepted to Old Dominion, James Madison, and University of Virginia. And I chose UVA because I went there and visited, and I just fell in love with it automatically. It's got great people, beautiful location, and a lot of really great programs. And sports games like basketball and football, that's really exciting, so I'm looking forward to attending those. I'm interested in nursing, and I'm also interested in just science, environmental science, maybe something like that. So I definitely like math and science. Just don't worry about the class rank, don't worry about the GPA, just try to do your best in each individual class. And that's really what I've tried to do, and it's worked out. So yeah, if you get bogged down in all the numbers and everything, it hurts you. And so you really just have to focus on doing your best and trusting that if you did your best and that's the best you can do, then don't worry about it if it's not the best.
That's what you do hard work.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Nelson, the 2016 salutatorian for Kecoughtan High School. Well, band has been one of the most monumental components of my high school career, and it actually started in 8th grade. 8th graders are able to join the marching band, and so my first experience at Kecoughtan High School was when I was still at Spratly, and I got the opportunity to have role models that were 5 years older than me, and so I've grown up in the marching band. It's a fantastic experience, both musically and socially. The different things that I've been exposed to, we go to competitions, so I've gotten friends at other schools. The whole experience, work ethic and responsibility, and also how important it is to connect with the people that you're responsible for. When I first heard that I was salutatorian, I thought about the speech. I'm a big fan of The West Wing, the political drama, and some of the characters on that show are presidential speechwriters. And that idea where rhetoric can move people, and when you give a good speech, it makes people feel emotions. That's something that I want to do at graduation. So that was the first thought about how do I do that when I heard that I was salutatorian. Well, my parents have always been a huge role model for me, especially because they aren't harsh when it comes to what I'm doing in school. They've always been encouraging, and I never feel like I have to do it for them. You know, I feel like they encourage me to do things for myself, for my own achievement. And beyond that, I've had role models as teachers. Mr. Conti, my band director, has been with me since 7th grade. He used to be at Spratly, and now he's here at Kecoughtan full time. My youth and government club advisor, Mr. Mingy. Well, scheduling is hard in my situation, and I've just had to prioritize what I want to do, and somehow I've been able to cram everything into my schedule, basically, because I'm really not willing to give up a whole lot. It's a lot to take on, but the love that I have for some of those things outweighs the consideration of time, and so I do what I can. And when I push myself, it turns out I can get a lot of stuff done. I've been accepted to Princeton University, the University of Virginia, Cornell University, and also the College of William and Mary. I chose Princeton for a multitude of reasons. One of them was the expansive opportunities that I had academic-wise. I could go to the Woodrow Wilson School for Public and International Affairs, different certificate programs in places that I'm interested, like Near Eastern Studies and Environmental Studies, are available in a way that would be really beneficial for my future endeavors. It was also my cheapest option, which is relatively remarkable. And my grandparents live in Ewing, which is right outside of Princeton, so I have a connection to the area already, and I'm looking forward to all the different opportunities that I have at a university with the resources that Princeton does. I'd eventually like to get a master's degree in public policy, so bachelor's degree would be government or political science or something like that, And I'm also considering going to graduate school, maybe law school. You know, eventually I really want to have an impact on the public debate and politics, and whether that is as a public policy analyst or as a lawyer or even maybe as an elected official, all of those roles are something that I feel like I can get my voice out there and try to help people. So go for the things that you want to do and challenge yourself. That doesn't mean don't take AP classes. It doesn't mean don't go beyond your comfort zone, but also don't lie to yourself and say that, you know, you want to take a class just for your GPA. You know, make it a fulfilling experience. As the world opens for me, I think that original peek through the door is what I'll feel nostalgic for, and feeling that I have so much to do, and the kids who live around me are on that journey with me.
Hello, I'm Judy Chen. I'm the valedictorian of Hampton High School, class of 2016. Como los hombres, porque hay una posibilidad de las mujeres que tienen un bebé que necesita quitar. I like to participate in Spanish Honor Society because I like to learn about like the Spanish culture, because we do like celebrations for like the Day of the Dead and like the Three Kings Day, and then we also do like a lot of volunteers. And I actually really like my sponsor. She's like really nice, so I'm really passionate about that Honor Society. I think that the first thought is like I could be like my sister, and that all my hard work has been paid off. And I really hope that my parents are proud of me, because I'm gonna tell them that I'm the valedictorian. Yeah. The person that's most influential is my sister, because like if I have something that I have a question about, I'll always go ask her, because you know she has more experience in school and with my parents, like helping out in a restaurant. Well, I'm accepted to UVA, College of William & Mary, and VCU, and I choose UVA because, I mean, it is a public Ivy, and it is a really good school, and plus my sister's there, so yeah. I'm more leaning towards like pre-med, and I like to become like a nurse, because I feel like I like to help people and stuff. Because when you like look at the videos of like nurses helping other people, I feel like inspired by them. So I would like be a nurse. You have to have time management, because like sometimes I do procrastinate, but if you have to get it together, so time management is really important. I think I'll miss mostly my friends, because like they're all going to like different universities and colleges, and some people you just like might not like never talk to again. So yeah, that's what I miss.
I'm Anna Patterson, and I'm the salutatorian of the Hampton High School class of 2016. I started sailing 5 years ago. When I was in 8th grade, my brother started a team here at Hampton, and I was really interested. So I joined, and I sort of fell in love with the sport. It's very competitive, and it keeps you active at the same time. but there's also a really big community in the sailing world, and it's something that I really enjoy. When I first found out I was salutatorian, I was really excited. I've been working really hard, and so it paid off. I was really glad that all my hard work had paid off, and it wasn't something I ever expected, but I'm glad that it happened. I would definitely have to say that my parents and my siblings have really influenced me. They've always taught me that hard work and dedication will get you where you want to go. I was accepted to Christopher Newport University, the College of William and Mary, and Old Dominion University. I chose Christopher Newport University because I really enjoyed the atmosphere and the academics, as well as the pre-medical and pre-physical therapy programs. And I'm also planning on sailing for their varsity team. I'm looking at going into biology in either pre-physical therapy or pre-med. I haven't quite decided yet. And I want to either go into medicine or physical therapy. I've had a lot of experiences in the health field, and this summer I got to go to summer residential governor's school, and that really kind of helped to foster my love for medicine. To never give up, even if it's difficult or it doesn't seem like you can do it, you always just have to keep moving forward and never let any obstacle stop you.
Congratulations to these outstanding students and the entire graduating class of 2016. I wish the best for each and every one of you as you begin your journey beyond high school. Whether that journey takes you to enrollment, enlistment, or employment, it is my sincere hope that someday you will make Hampton your home.